Hello again, I'm William Stewart, co-founder of Teleos. Welcome to this video series on the book of First Peter. We're in chapter 5, verse 2, on a very nice section talking about eldership and Peter's directions to the elders were those who lead the church, the local church, as opposed to the church universal, for which we are all in as one community of believers, united believers across the world. But the universal church is most often manifested by the local church within individual communities. And we started in verse 1 where he is identifying with them as a co-elder, but one who has authority, having been with Christ, and now encourages them to take some attitudes, several important attitudes, starting in verse 2, which is our verse today. Now, let me just preface this in general that although these admonishments are given to elders, those leading the church, it's really to all of us, because our goal, as it says in 1 Peter 1:16, in our Christian lives are to be like Christ, or holy, to be God is holy. So in doing so, we all need to learn to take on the responsibility of the elder in leading and helping others in the Christian faith, encouraging them, helping them to learn how to live the Christian walk, helping them to learn about Christ, teaching them, whether it's sharing scripture or teaching them through your prayers as you pray together, but also teaching them in Bible study, leading them in the scriptures themselves. So other verses like Second Timothy 2, 1 Timothy 4, verses 16 and 6, 12, all admonish us to teach other people. But this is directed specifically to the elders themselves. He says to feed the flock of God, which is among you, taking the oversight not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but with a ready mind. So, interesting, feed the flock here doesn't mean to give them oats and allow them to nibble on them. It actually means shepherd. So, as Christ is the shepherd of our souls, so we are shepherding other people, keeping them within the faith, nurturing them, everything we can to help them be healthy Christian people. And here are the elders specifically. So the flock of God here, as would be imaged in John 10 and in Ezekiel 34, is the church. And so he's using the imagery of the shepherd and the sheep, which is pretty common imagery for God's people in Scripture. So he says, take the oversight. So the word here for oversight is episkopos, where we get the word episcopal, and of course, the Episcopalian Anglican Church, worldwide denomination, as opposed, it's one of the words for elder, as opposed to the word of presbyteros in the first chapter. So here it's in the verb form, the function of the elder, which means to have oversight, audit, correct. It's hard to pin down the definition in just a few words, but its strongest efforts is somebody who comes to your place with an authoritative role to audit what you're doing. So it takes a nature of some seriousness. So the word here, constraint, is only used here in Scripture, and the word is means literally over or return need. So up to need, do it by need, and so otherwise, just don't be an elder, just purely for the need, but exousios, otherwise freely, perhaps. And the in Latin here, the early church translation of the Greek by Jerome in the Latin literally says voluntarily, and not for shameful gain, as it says in the Greek, askokirtos, but prothumos, a interesting word only used several times, and it says ready mind. It really means out in front of your emotion, leading your emotion. Otherwise, um, perhaps with passion, you're out in front of your emotion, leading your emotion into leadership of the church for one who's an elder. Okay, interesting passage. Really talks about the attitude of an elder, that they are to do the eldership not just to gain something financially, but to do it willingly, to really help the people, to serve the people that are under them. All right, thanks for being here. Join me next time. We'll continue this passage discussing eldership, and I hope you'll join me then.